We are told in 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4 to 6 that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They are not based upon the things of the flesh, but they are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds in our lives, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity, into bondage, those negative, self-defeating, faith-stealing thoughts into the obedience of Christ. And so, what then, beloved, are these spiritual weapons of this spiritual warfare that we are fighting in this present life? In Ephesians chapter 6, it says from verse 10, as it begins to describe the Christian's armor, which is the basic weapon system, the system of defense that we use to fight our spiritual warfare. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 to 18, it gives us a description of what the armor of God is. And it begins, beloved, by telling us, finally, brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And it goes on to tells us how we are to be strong, and we are to be strong by putting on the whole armor of God. But it gives a command in verse 10. It says, finally, brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And yes, we will get strength from putting on the armor of God, but how are we to be strong in the Lord? And in Joshua chapter 1 verse 9, this command of God is echoed. Have not I commanded thee, God says, be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. So God does command us to be strong. God commands us to have a mindset and a determination of strength and of power. And so as we seek to put on the armor of God, we are going to wear this armor, use this armor with a mindset of certainty, with a mindset of strength. We are not putting on the armor of God hoping and thinking and wishing that it is going to work. We are putting on the armor of God with a mindset of strength and confidence, knowing that this is going to work. This will guard us. This will protect us. This will stand the test of battle. This will stand the test of time. So God commands us, beloved, in this spiritual warfare to be strong. God commands us, beloved, in this spiritual warfare to be of good courage and not to give in to the spirit of fear, not to give in to the spirit of distress, because he said he is with us whithersoever we go. And notice that this same concept, this same sentiment is also echoed in Joel chapter 3 and verse 10, and it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. If you are weak today, beloved, what are you supposed to say? I am strong. Beloved, in your minds, often it is reinforced in a state of doubt, in a time of doubt, in a state of fear, that you are afraid and you don't know what to do. And subconsciously that record begins to play in your mind that you are afraid and you don't know what to do. Stop that, beloved. Take that negative thought and cut its head off in your mind and let the weak say, I am strong. So in your moment of weakness, in your moment of temptation, you call on the Lord, and God has commanded you to say, I am strong. In your moment of fear, in your moment of doubt, say, I am strong. And you affirm this, you repeat this, because God has commanded you to say, I am strong, because God recognizes that words have power, that words are power, and words are one of the weapons of our warfare as we are struggling and fighting against principalities and power. And this is why Christ said in John chapter 6 verse 63, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. And so your words will bring life and would attract the Spirit of God to your present condition to give you life. Your words will inject life into your situation. Your words that you use will change your faith. Your words that you use will strengthen, they would make or they would break your faith. And this is why we are told in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 13, we having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore speak. So your words are important. The words that you use are imperative to build your faith up and to affirm strength and confidence and faith in God. Let the weak say, I am strong. And so you affirm that strength today, beloved. And as you fight in this spiritual warfare, you will have more strength. You will have more faith. Because you're not speaking fear, because you're not speaking doubt, you are affirming the very thing that you need and the very thing that God has commanded you to do. And this is why he said, let the weak say, I am strong. Your mental conversation can break your faith in God. Your mental conversation can weaken your relationship with God. And God has given you a very specific and powerful weapon to use in your arsenal in this spiritual warfare. And he said to you, he says to you personally, beloved, let the weak say, I am strong. Learn to encourage yourself in the Lord. Let the weak say, I am strong, because those words that you speak, they are spirit and they are life. Bring life to your spiritual fight today. Bring life to your spiritual experience today, and you will see God work on your behalf because you have believed and therefore you have spoken. And he rewards faith, because without faith it is impossible to please him. This is the Word of Life with Andre Knight.